Welcome back to Voices of the Valley. I'm Harry Schrader. Kevin Lehman has joined us. You see the glasses, the studying. He's prepping for the game.
Oh, we're on TV. I didn't even know that, Harry.
So glad to have you with us. Listen, we got to work together the other night, and I listened to you all year long on the Valley broadcast. You do such a great job. You're clearly no basketball. You got a history there, but you do your homework.
Well, I appreciate that, and it's easy in this league because the coaches are so great, and they all enjoy talking basketball with you, and you get to know the players. I think that's what this league's all about. They have great young men playing for them. They're going to come out and be great citizens. And I work for Eldon Miller, and he always told us we're educators first, coaches second.
That's really the way this league is, isn't it? These guys continue to teach, and that's why you see players continue to improve.
Yeah, and you see a lot of guys come out of this league and go into coaching because they've enjoyed their experience so much. One for Drake, Darren DeVries, this young man I recruited at Northern Iowa, and I was able to coach him for 2 years before I left to take a head job. But it is a coach's league, and it's a developmental league, so you see players come in and get better every year, and that's what makes Arch Madness so great, because some players, like, look at Wyatt Lohaus, who's played so well for Northern Iowa. He's been there 5 years, and he's gotten better every year. And then last night just had a career high with 27 points.
It's an amazing game he had last night. 27, got the game winner on that drive with practically no time left. Another guy that you see growing and improving, and I think is a budding star in this league, is also going to be in this game today, Elijah Childs.
Oh, no question. One of the keys I'm going to do the radio calling is what is Northern Iowa going to do to hold him down? Because they're going to double him at times. And when they did that, I called the game when Bradley played at Northern Iowa, and Darryl Brown went off for 29 in that game. They kept Childs under control, but they couldn't handle Darryl Brown.
It's really interesting. Brown has 2 in the loss at home against Northern Iowa. He gets 29 against Northern at McLeod Center. I mean, I went back and looked at the numbers and looked at the games a little bit, and I'm thinking, wow, how do you figure this game?
Well, and one of my keys to that game was Brown versus Brown, because Isaiah Brown, the all-defensive player, was matched up on Darryl Brown. He held him to 1 for 7 in that opening Valley game back in January, where Darryl Brown only had, 2 points or 4 points. And then the matchup back at Northern Iowa, the other Brown, Darryl Brown, had the upper hand. I think we're going to see the same sort of matchup tonight, because Ben Jacobson likes to put length on point guards. You'll see Isaiah Brown on the point guards quite a bit, but I think you have a great point. Childs will be an issue for Northern Iowa.
He is a budding star in this league. You talked about Darryl Brown. Brown's had a bad shooting weekend here at the Enterprise Center. A.J. Green has had a bad shooting weekend here at the Enterprise Center. Got the game winner in their first game, but both of those guys still looking for their first good game.
Well, that's what's scary, I think, if the opposing coach, because Darryl Brown's not going to have a third bad game shooting the basketball. And, if you're Brian Wardle, you're thinking the same thing about A.J. Green. So you got a game prep for those guys. Another thing, going back to Childs, one of the issues I think for Northern Iowa coming up will be not so much coming out of double team and taking away shooters. What I'm impressed by Bradley is their ability to penetrate the gaps with D'Lo, strength of him, Lundy. They really attack the rim, and that's going to be an issue for Northern Iowa. Northern Iowa not a real physical team or a finesse team. So the strength of Bradley at all positions will be a problem.
You're a former coach, and the guy to me that has been a difference maker for Bradley, there's not anybody coming into this stadium today that thinks it. Luke Van Bray. He's got no points. He's got a handful of rebounds, blocked 3 shots last night. I think blocked 2 shots tonight before. Physical, took Cameron Krutwig out of his game yesterday. Nobody on the planet thinks Luke Van Bray's having a good tournament, but I guarantee you that Brian Wardle thinks he is.
Well, and so does Rich Savozak, and I had the call because what they did with him was a great coaching move. They put him on Ugwak, the Loyola player who doesn't have great range, and basically he played a zone in the middle and plugged everything up. But if you talk to Brian Wardle, let's start off 0-5. He did 2 things that helped his team get going. One was Von Bray in the lineup and putting Koch Barr off the bench. So it gave Childs more room to work in the post, because Von Bray is the classic stretch 4-man. We don't see a lot of those in this league this year, which is surprising because people have gone that. You've seen more 4 guards. but he has enough size in there, and then they also have him guard the post player on the other team. So we'll probably see him on Luke McDonald. And the other change they made was taking Nate Cannell out of the starting lineup and bringing him off the bench. He goes off for 19 yesterday. He is really liked that role as a bench player.
He was spectacular yesterday. We should let you get over to your broadcast position.
Oh, I stay here all day with you.
But we really appreciate what you do all year long for the Valley, because I think you're a great representative ambassador for the league.
Well, I got my coaching start with Eldon Miller in 1986 at Northern Iowa, and they'd been...
You don't look that old.
Oh, they had been... I think it was their 7th year of Division I, Harry, and they'd never had won. They'd never been in the NCAA tournament, and they never had a winning record in Division I. And Eldon Miller, I know he is passionate. He's at Ohio State. I call him the Yoda of college basketball. And he told us, he said, I went to the administration and told them we're going to do 4 things here at Northern Iowa. We're going to fill the Unidome. We're going to do it with Iowa players. They had us budgeted for like out-of-state players. We're going to beat Iowa Hawkeyes, and we're going to the NCAA tournament. And Bob Bowlesby was our athletic director, now the commissioner of the Big 12, and he looked at Eldon like he had 2 heads. And 4 years later, we had accomplished all of those things. Wow. We beat Missouri in the NCAA tournament with 11 players from Iowa. We'd filled the Unidome with 25,000 and beat Iowa. So it was kind of exciting that he had a dream and a vision. And the 5th thing he said to Harry is, we were back in the old Mid-Continent League. We got to get out of this league. It's not stable. And Eldon was instrumental in getting Northern Iowa into the Missouri Valley.
Spectacular. Appreciate your time. Enjoy your day.
Right. Thank you, Harry.
That's Kevin Lehman. We'll be back to wrap up the show in a minute. You're watching Voices of the Valley right here on ValleyHoopsInsider.com.